Hi everyone. Hi creative souls. It's me, Kishara, and welcome back to my channel, Kishara Creates. And we are here for another quick and simple painting tutorial. If this is your first time here joining me, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe, all that good stuff. Show me some love as I show you some love with my beautiful artwork. So today I didn't really have anything planned or themed out or anything like that. We're just gonna go with the flow. So I just, kind of wanted to do something a little bit abstract. The only thing for sure that I knew I wanted to do was kind of have an orange background. So we are going to start with that. So I've been doing a lot of painting. I've been super busy, so my paint palette is a hot mess, so don't judge me. I still have all this paint on here from last night. I did a live painting tutorial for one of the Facebook groups that I'm in last night. So I still have paint everywhere. Oh, and you guys can go and check that out if you want to. All my social media information is linked below. And thank you for everyone that has been watching and subscribing. Anyway, okay, I'm done talking. So as you can see, I like to mix my colors or my background shades directly onto the canvas because I like different color saturations and different tones. I don't want to do just a solid color background. I kind of like having different strokes of different colors. So I'm just using some yellow, as you can see, and I'm just really just throwing some all over the canvas. Just want to have fun today. I committed to coming and painting with you guys every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So I intend to honor that commitment. So here I am on Thursday with another painting tutorial. So that's what we're doing today. All right, enough of that yellow. I'm not even going to clean off my brush because we're just blending all of these together. So I'm just going to grab some white paint, and y'all look at my palette. It looks a hot mess, but hey. So I'm just going to grab some white, and literally I'm just throwing it on the canvas. Just trying to make sure I put some everywhere. Make sure we have some up here and on the sides. Let's do this side over here too. Don't forget to give love to the sides and the top and the bottom of your canvas as well. You want it all to be uniform. However, no big deal if you do forget or whatever. I just think it looks more professional to have it all laid out. All right, so we're gonna add some hot pink into this. I love pink, so I'm just gonna brighten it up with some pink. Very hot pink, very bright. This is gonna give us a really bright orange, which is what I want. Want a bright orange. So that's what I'm gonna give it. All right. Putting some of this pink on the sides, the top, all that good stuff. And even though we used the pink, I am going to add just a little bit of red into this too. But let me add some more pink down here first. And I think I want to do some right up here too. All right. Still haven't cleaned my brush off. Same brush. Just adding some touches of red. As you can see, there's really no formula or anything. I'm not being precise. I'm just going with the flow and having some fun. That's all I'm doing. That's it. But I hope you guys are having a fabulous week. I am still floating on the cloud. I'm just excited to get to do what I love every single day. And I'm excited that I get to share it with you all. So I can't help but to smile. Today is a beautiful day. All is well with me. All right, let's blend this up and see what we get and see if we want to add any more colors or anything to this. Ooh, I'm liking how these colors are blending. And see, I'm just doing long strokes up and down so that my strokes are consistent and it smooths out my paint. You don't have to do your strokes going up and down if you don't want to. You could do them going left and right or however you would prefer to. However, this is what we're doing today, or what I'm doing today. And like I said, I'm kind of just going with the flow. I have nothing planned out. We're just having some fun with some colors, making a beautiful abstract piece and seeing what we get. And I'm liking this, but I think I want to add more yellow to it. It's a little bit lighter than I want it to be. Might have added with a little bit too much white, but hey. We can just keep adding. And you just want to make sure that your strokes are nice and smooth. See? Let me go on this side and give some love to this side of the canvas too. Pretty pretty. I'm liking this. All right, let me double check the top. And I gotta stand on my tiptoes because I'm short. All right. Lovely. How long have we been painting so far? Oh, look at there, 6 minutes, and we're mostly done with the background. I do want to brighten it up, I think, just a little bit. So I think I might add some more yellow and some more of that hot pink. So, I don't know why, but I always go through so much yellow and so much white paint. So bear with me while I get more yellow paint. Come on, paint. There we go. I hate how that paint sounds. Oh my God, it's so annoying, but hey. You need paint in order to paint. There we go. I got some yellow paint. All right, and some of this hot pink too. I hate that noise. Oh my goodness. There we go. See, I hate it. The more I try not to make that noise, the more it happens. All right, I'm cleaning off this large flat brush just because we already have all those colors in there that we mixed. Since I want to brighten this up some, I want to get all that color off of this brush. So I'm going to go in with the hot pink first. And I'm going to kind of blend that out. There we go. Add some of that over here. And you see I'm still just doing long strokes. Blended it into the colors that we already put down, which is exactly what we want. Make sure you get good right here if you have a standing easel or anything like that like I do. Make sure you pay attention to the top and the bottom of your canvas as well. All right, let's add some more yellow into there. There we go. It's a lot brighter. That's what I wanted. Love it, love it. And like I said, I didn't really plan this out. I don't really know what I'm going to create. I'm just going to create something and trust that it's going to be beautiful, because it always is. And because I did all these colors on the canvas and blended it, I am going to go ahead and hit this with the blow dryer real fast. So I apologize in advance, but I want this nice and dry because I want to do some colors over top of this, and I do not want them blending into the shades in the background. All right, I'm done with that, being a little bit OCD. So, excuse me for a second while I blow dry this with my handy dandy blow dryer and blow this off real fast just to get it nice and dry. The good thing about acrylic is that it does not take a long time for it to dry, so I promise this won't take a long time. So just bear with me a little bit. I promise you don't want to miss this tutorial. All right. enough of that. Sorry, you guys. That took a little bit longer than usual, so thank you for staying with me. Thank you, thank you. All right, so I'm going to grab a large round brush, and it's just a round brush because it does not have a straight edge or straight top to it. And like I said, really didn't think or plan anything out or anything like that. Blue always complements orange really well. So I'm just going to add some blue and some white, and ooh, I like that shade of blue. I'm gonna leave that. Let me grab a little bit of water on my brush, thin this paint out. Like I always say, whenever you add white paint to any color, you're definitely going to have to dilute it or thin it out because white is really thick. So, and you see how I twist my paintbrush into the paint like this? This helps to smooth out the paint that's on my brush, and it helps to make sure that my brush is fully saturated with paint. All right, so what are we gonna do? I'm just gonna throw a big circle in the middle. That's it. Not even all the way in the middle, kind of just wherever I put it. And I'm gonna add some little circles coming off of there. If it comes off to the side, then give some love to the sides too. You want it to look uniform, especially since you already painted the sides. You want it to all go together. And as you can see, I'm being extremely random. I'm not thinking it through. I'm just putting down some circles. And if your background, like mine, is still a little bit wet and some of those colors shine through, that is perfectly fine. I actually really like that. Painting is all about blending, especially when you're doing something fun like this where it's just abstract and you just kind of want to go with the flow. Then just do that. Just go with the flow. Just let it flow. All right. And I'm not making them all the same size or anything like that. Putting them kind of randomly everywhere. I'm just going to keep adding circles until I feel like I have enough of this blue on my canvas and I don't want to add any more. That's the technique. That's the secret. That's all I'm doing right now. Just got some more water. Thin this out some. Perfect. Might do one right here. And maybe a little baby one right there. All right, let me take a step back and look at it for a second. Okay. I'm gonna add one right here. And maybe one here. All right, lovely. So I'm gonna mix up just a little bit more of that blue, and I'm gonna go back over these and just make sure the lines are nice and crisp and smooth. So same thing, blue and white, mixing it up until I get that same exact shade of lovely blue. There we go. Look how easy that was. And see, look how far along we've gotten. 15 minutes into, and we have a background and some circles. All right. So I'm literally just going right over top of what we painted, smoothing out the lines. Just making sure that the edges are nice and smooth. And you're probably going to have to dilute this a good amount just to get the edges nice and smooth. And I'm trying not to take too much of your time. I've been doing pretty good lately. Most of my tutorials have been around about an hour. However, Saturday, since I'll have a little bit more time, I'll probably do something a little bit more advanced with you guys. Probably another still life or something like that. Because we did a lovely Flower Tuesday, which was just beautiful. But I try not to just always do the same thing. I like to switch it up and all of that. And last week I did an affirmation or a word of manifestation, and I kind of like that. So I might not do that every week, but that might be something that I start to implement more regularly in this channel. Oh, you guys, And if you did not tune in on Tuesday, I just want to say thank you again, everyone, all my lovely subscribers, for all your support. Thank you all for the birthday wishes and the donations. I appreciate them. Thank you for your support. And if you would like to support me, you can as well. All my information is linked down below. All donations do go to support this beautiful channel. So thank you, thank you. Oh, and also my birthday gift to myself is that I finished, or halfway finished, my website, but there is a good amount of my artwork and merchandise on there. If you wanted to see what I have, you can support me that way as well. All right, enough talking. Still just going back over these blue, smoothing out the lines, getting more water. That's all I'm doing. See, these circles are taking longer than the daggone background, or at least it feels like it to me. All right, let's touch this one up right here. There we go. And you guys, I'm still so excited about this channel. Thank you guys so much. You guys have been awesome. Thank you for all your support. It's so encouraging. Thank you, thank you. And thank you for sending me all your pictures of your recreations. Thank you. I love that. That is exactly the purpose of this channel. Feel free to follow me on all my social media accounts and share your lovely recreations with me. I'd love to see your take or your variations on these tutorials. And feel free to use your own colors. You don't have to use the same exact colors that I use. I always describe it like a recipe. You know, the colors that I use are more so a suggestion. You can do whatever colors you feel. There's no wrong or right or correct way to create anything in art. It's all about self-expression and just doing what feels and flows right for you. All right. Almost done with these circles. Almost done with these circles. I promise, I promise. And touch this one up over here some. Lovely. And see, look how good that blue looks with the orange. All right, so I'm going to mix up an even lighter blue. I want to do more pastel blue. So, of course, we're going to need more blue paint and even more white paint because we're going to make a lighter blue. There we go. Let's add some more white to that too. Oh yeah, I like that. Pretty, pretty. I'm just mixing. That's all I'm doing is mixing the paint around. That's it. All right. So let me see, what do I want to do? In some of these areas where they overlap, I'm just gonna add that blue, and I'm kind of just gonna tap into it. I'm not gonna try to fill it in too perfectly. We're just gonna add some texture here and there. And I'm just randomly placing it wherever I feel like I want to. There's no formula or anything. This is just abstract, going with the flow, doing what feels right. That's it. There we go. And fill up some of the larger spaces with that light blue too. Like this guy down here. We'll fill him in with that lighter blue. Don't forget the sides. Don't forget your sides. Fill this one in right here with that light blue. And see, I'm just dabbing into it. I'm just going at it. I'm not being overly precise. I'm not trying to stay within the lines. I'm just having fun and putting the paint down. And I think I'm gonna go into some of these areas with, well, within this lighter blue, and add some touches of like a mint green. Now the thought of green is coming to me. And see, I'm just going with the flow, letting the ideas just come to me while I'm painting. Just having fun, that's it. Fun and relaxing. Some quick and simple techniques. It's so relaxing just to paint, especially when it's something like this and you're not trying to figure out a technique or anything like that. You're just going at it, letting your mind wander, forgetting about whatever's stressing you out throughout the day. All right, I think that is enough of that light blue tones. So clean that brush off, and we are going to make a mint green. So I'm just going to grab some green, some yellow, some blue, and some white, and let's mix it up. Let's see what we got and see if we want to add anything else to that. Ooh, that's pretty. I like that. Yep, we're gonna leave that just like that. But of course, we need to add some water to it. So I'm just diluting it like I did with all the other colors, twisting it around, twisting it around. There we go. So I'm just gonna pop in some of the green into the areas where we added these light blue shades. Give some more color variation and saturation and complexity, or whatever, however you want to describe it, whatever that means for you. And I'm gonna add some of these green randomly to some other spots too, and I'm kind of just gonna throw it into the middle of some of these places. It's just paint. Be brave. Don't be afraid. Just throw the paint on there. All right. Yeah, I'll leave that like that. Now I'm going to just make a pastel yellow, and see, the ideas are just coming to me. They're just flowing with me. All right, so some yellow and some white. That's what we need to make a light yellow, yellow and white. Nothing too complex there. All right, and like all the other colors that we added white to, we need to thin this one out too. Thinning it out, twisting, twisting, twisting. I'm always twisting around into my brush. And up in here, I'm gonna add some of that yellow. Ooh, and I like that I didn't cover up all of the orange. I like that poking out. Let me take a step back. That's typically what I do. Okay. And I'm even gonna do a brighter green in these areas too. So just some yellow and just some green. Let me mix that up. Get a nice bright green, or lime green, however you want to describe it. I like that shade. We're gonna add some of that in there too. And I'm gonna spread this out some more. There we go. Lovely. And just some of this green randomly in some areas. All right. I feel like I want to add some purple to this. Let me take a step back again. Let's see what we got going on. Yep. Let's add some purple. So we're going to use some red. We're going to use this lime, or excuse me, lime. Don't mean lime. We're going to use this bright pink also. And some of the light blue that we mixed up. Let's mix this together and see what lovely shade of purple we get. Add some more red into there. Ooh, that's pretty. I want to lighten it up just a little bit. Ooh, I like that. And I'm gonna add, and see, still using the same brush. I haven't even switched brushes. So I'm going to, around some of these circles, I'm just gonna break up some of this blue by adding some of the purple to it. And as you can see, I'm just adding some purple here and there, kind of following the circles, but I am not covering up the whole entire circles that we made with the blue with the purple. We're just adding touches or accents, highlights, however you want to describe it, of this purple shade to all of these lovely blue circles that we created. It's going to help just differentiate and break them up some too, especially since we just blended all of those pretty colors into them. So just add in touches of purple wherever I feel like I want to add some more color. That's all I'm doing. Nothing too complicated. I know you guys can do this. We all can do some circles and some little dabs of paint. I have faith in you guys. I know you're able. All right, let's keep going, keep going, keep going. And I have to add pink. I just have to. I love pink. I can't help it. So again, with the neon pink, I should just get a big one of these. I don't know why I don't. All right. I am gonna switch my brushes. I'm gonna switch to a flat edge brush for this color. But I'm gonna mix up this pink with some white. Add a little touch of red to it. There we go. And like with all the other colors that we added white to, we need to dilute this, thin it out some. Especially with this flat edge brush, because I want to be able to get nice smooth lines. And what I'm going to do is around this lovely circle, this huge circle in the middle, you see I'm just doing nice little upward strokes of this really bright pink tone. And I kind of like it just like that. I don't want to cover up the whole thing. I kind of like that. Let me look back. Let me take a step back. Okay. We're going to add some of this, some of these curves to the outside also with this pink tone too. And see, I'm just mimicking those same curved strokes, but I'm kind of just randomly throwing them on there. Not being particular at all. Just making sure that the strokes are similar. That's all I'm doing. Make sure I give some love to the sides with this color also. And up here too. And see, I'm doing curved strokes. All right. And we are going to add some red into there. And clean that brush off just a little bit. And look, we're 30 minutes into this. I actually do think we'll be able to achieve this in an hour. All right. And this is just fun, just playing around, that's it. So I'm gonna use red. I'm gonna add a little teeny tiny bit of yellow into the red just to kind of brighten it some. But as you can see, I'm still using that same brush, and I'm gonna go right into the areas where we did those little accents of the red with those curved strokes, we're just going to add, excuse me, with the pink, we're going to do that same kind of technique wherever we put down some of those pink shades. And I'm not being meticulous or counting out how many strokes I did or anything like that. I'm just throwing some of this color down. That's all that I'm doing. All right. And I didn't take the pink over to that side, but I think I'll do it with the red. All right. So I'm going to get a smaller round brush than the one we were using, and I'm going to make an even lighter blue. So I'm just going to use the light blue that we already had and just add some more white into it. Don't want to waste any paint or anything like that. All right, I think that's pretty. Just doing the same thing I did with all the colors. Thinning out the paint some, diluting it some. All right. And the same thing that we did with the purple, we're going to come around and do little accents with this really light blue too, just around these circles. And yes, you kind of want it to touch into the purples and the blue, because we want all of this lovely layers to blend together and complement each other. So I'm just randomly putting some of this light blue around these little circles that we originally created. All right, up in here, do some here, here. And see, just being very random, just looking at it and adding some color where I feel like I want to add some more color tones to it. Let's do some up here. All right, well, let me take another step back. Okay, lovely. All right, so the areas right here, these few little areas where we just filled in with that blue, I am going, goodness, I have paint everywhere. That's nothing new. It is what it is. All right, so I'm going to make a deeper green. So I'm just going to pull some green to the side and add some red to it. Just a little bit. Add a little bit of red at a time. You can always add more red to make it darker if you need to. If you make it too dark, you can add some more green into it, or some yellow if you feel like you need to. And right in here, I'm just going to do little curved strokes with this green in those few little places where I just had that initial blue. And see, I'm just adding different layers and textures to it. Nothing fancy or complicated or anything along those lines. Go back and smooth over these lines some more. Just touching up those green again, smoothing it out some. I diluted the paint a little bit so I can smooth it out a little bit more. Take a step back again. Okay. I think in here I'm going to add some touches or some of those little dabs of this dark green too. Why not? Why not? Why not? Don't forget the sides and all of that lovely stuff too. Beautiful. I'm loving it, loving it, loving it. All right. I feel like I want to add some of that green around these circles too. I'm just keep going with it. I'm not going to do a lot of this green around there, just a little bit, just to kind of tie it together. Very random. I'm an artist, so I'm a random kind of person anyway. I just like to go with the flow. And that's how I was feeling today. I didn't want to do anything in particular. We did a flower on Tuesday, so I didn't want to do another flower. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to start painting and we'll get what we get. So far, so good. Okay, let me take another step back, like I keep saying. Okay, pretty. Now, I want to start darken this up some, so still using that round brush, just a smaller one, and I'm going to make a kind of medium gray tone. I want to add some deepness to this painting. It takes the dark colors for the light to shine, and it takes the light for the dark to stand out. Just like with everything, it's all about balance, balance, balance. And I think I'm going to add some more texture to this by doing some cross hatching, which is basically just adding lines and letting them adding vertical and horizontal lines and letting them crisscross around each other to add some texture. But I'm not going to be too precise or trying to make my lines super thin or all the same thickness or length or anything like that. As you can see, I'm just doing little lines in certain areas with that gray. We're going to do some of this around here too. And we're going to go back around and add some lines going in the other directions to crisscross them for that cross-hatching technique as well. And I have done another tutorial on here where we did the whole abstract piece just in cross-hatching. So go back and reference that tutorial if you would like to. That's actually one of my favorite paintings that I've made on this lovely channel. All right, you see how that gray just added some more complexity, texture to this? It's almost like it makes the other colors even brighter just by adding some darkness to it. All right, so going in the other direction, see, I'm just crisscrossing it. Just doing some lines going in the opposite direction. Remember, if your lines go off to the sides, give the edge of your canvas some love too. Don't forget about the sides, the top and the bottom. Show those areas some love too. All right, there we go. Beautiful. And see, I'm kind of just playing around with it, doing lines going every which way. Stopping when I feel like I have enough gray in any particular area, but there's no formula. Just have fun with it. Just keep adding until you feel like you've done enough. Then stop. When you feel like you've done enough, stop. You don't want to go overboard, and then, especially with something like this, that's abstract, because there's not a way. I mean, you can with paint go back and let it dry and paint over top of it, but there's so many different layers and different strokes, it would just be a pain. You don't really want to do that if you don't have to. All right. I think I want to add some more going into here. I don't want to go overboard with the gray. Take another step back. Ooh, yeah, I like what that added to the painting. Okay. I think in here I still want to break up some of this blue. So I'm going to lighten this gray some and make a lighter gray by just adding some more white, still using the same brush. I didn't even clean the brush off. And in some of these areas, I'm just going to add some touches of light gray. And those areas were right in here where we did those little strokes or those little lines of that darker green. I'm taking some of this lighter gray to those areas. Take another step back. Let me see. Okay. And I'm going to add some accents of this light gray into the areas where we have the darker gray. And as you can see, I'm just randomly putting it down. I'm not putting it as much as I did as the dark shades. I'm just adding accents to it with this lighter gray tone. There we go. See, I'm just adding some of the light gray in the areas where we had the dark gray. Don't forget the sides, like I keep saying. Don't forget your sides. Add some of that here too. All right. Now, you know what? Like I said, I want this to be kind of just fun and quick and easy today. So I'm not going to go overboard with adding too much texture and detail because I like all the colors and everything that we have going on. So I think I just want to add some highlights and some shadows with some black and white. And then I think I might just leave it as it is because I'm kind of liking it. So again, I need some more white paint. Again, this painting hasn't even been that long and I had to stop and get paint, what, 3 times already? But it's all good. All right, I don't need too much though, just a little bit. And you guys, make sure you comment, leave me suggestions. Goodness, I can't talk today. What is going on? Leave me suggestions of, you know, maybe some ideas or tutorials that you would be interested in seeing in the future, or if there's any art techniques that you've always wanted to try, or any of those lovely type of things. And with white, like I've kept saying, like I always say, like I will forever always say, white is opaque, it's very thick. You have to thin out the paint. Thin it out if you want to get nice smooth lines with it. So see, I'm taking that extra time to just go ahead and dilute it, so that way I don't have to keep stopping, even though I'm most likely going to have to anyway, but you get what I'm trying to say. All right. So just like we did with all the other tones or all the other colors around these circles, we're going to add some accents of white too to these. If the other colors blend into it at all, that is perfectly fine. That's exactly what I want. That's the reason why I didn't keep drying off all the layers or anything like that, because I want all these colors to kind of blend and intertwine and intermingle together. All of that good stuff. All right. Beautiful. Loving it. It's amazing what white and black will do to an image, how it will just finish it off and pull it all together. Never ceases to amaze me. And look at this. I had no idea what I was going to do today. I just started painting and hey, I made something. I'm going to add some little strokes of white in here. And see, the days that are like this where I don't have anything really planned out are the days where it's just the most fun. It's more relaxing. All right, I'm gonna add some dabs of the white up in here because I feel like these are kind of dark up in here. And I want to add some more touches of the white to this too. Down up in here also. There we go. I think I'm gonna do them to all of those. Why not? Lighten up some of these areas. Like I said, it takes the light for the dark to stand out. It takes the dark for the light to stand out. Give and take its balance. All right, add some white up in here, and see, I'm just adding random highlights. I'm not being particular or picky or fussy or trying to be too precise. I'm just putting somewhere I feel like I want to add some of those colors too. And I've got paint all over the floor and all over me. Never fails. Even with the paint palette, how do I still get paint everywhere, all on my arm and everything? I don't know. I literally have a whole drawer of clothes that is just for painting. I feel like everything I own has paint on it. It's either like for painting or like a business outfit. No in between. I don't know. I'm an artist. We're random like that. All right. I'm just going over every little area and adding little highlights to the white. Like I mentioned before, don't neglect the sides and the bottom and the tops of your canvas. And look at all these layers that we made. Look how fancy this looks. And it was so easy. Everyone's gonna be like, oh, who made that? It's so complex. They're not gonna believe you made it, but you can do it. This was super easy. Look at this. Everybody can do this. That's why it was important to me for this channel, one, to focus on paintings that are beginner friendly, but also to do it in real time so people can actually mimic the techniques and everything and not get frustrated when they just put down one layer and it doesn't come out the way that you want it to. Painting takes patience, it takes layers, all of that. Think about how many layers we had to do to get this. It took a lot of layers. All right, let me take another step back. All right, pretty. All right, so we are going to tie this all together by using a liner brush and some black paint. So black is pretty much the same as the white paint. You're going to want to thin it out a good amount, especially since we're using this small brush because I don't just want large strokes of black anywhere. So I'm going to take the time to thin it out, to thin this lovely, 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 lovely color out. Thin out this black paint. Dilute it. You want it to have like a ink kind of texture to it. Go ahead and thin out enough paint now. That way you don't have to keep stopping. At least that's what I do. Just thinning the paint out. Still twirling my brush into it. Thinning, diluting the paint, and making sure it's smoothly saturated onto my paintbrush. Nothing complicated. We all can do that. Look at there. Lovely. I think that's good to go. At least it is for right now. And I'm going to add some highlights of the black around these circles. And I'm going to be a little bit more bold with the black than I was with the white because I want these circles to differentiate between each other. So as you can see, I am outlining with the black a lot more than I did with the white. I'm still not necessarily covering up or outlining the whole entire thing with black, but I do want to make sure that these areas where the circles overlap, that you can see the difference in them. So I'm definitely adding a good amount of black to the areas that overlap each other, just so they stand out. And you see how that breaks it up so much? Beautiful, beautiful. Absolutely love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right. And I already need more water on my brush, but that's all good. Still just adding highlights of the black. And see, I want my strokes to be nice and smooth, which is why it's important to thin the paint out. Smooth that out. There we go. We'll do right around here with some of the black. And right around here. And see, I'm still not outlining the whole circle in black. I'm just making sure that I have a good amount of black within each one of these circles so you can tell the difference between them, so they don't just all blend together. That will help all those layers that we did stand out some as well. There we go. Still just adding paint, adding paint. Nothing too particular. Just adding accents of black wherever I feel like I want to break up any of these circles. I'm just looking at it and just going with the flow. And I'm going to do little strokes like this with the black. And just adding little random curved lines with the black over in here where we did our cross hatching. All right. Just adding little touches of black. I'm not crossing them over top of each other. I'm just adding some hints of black into each one of these little areas. Let me take another step back like always. I think I like that. It's just fun and different. I think I want to add some black into some of these areas too. So I'm going to add little teeny tiny lines, do some little cross hatching with the black in some of these circles. In these areas right here where we have the lighter or the brighter green. So you're just adding some texture, some more texture to those areas too. See, I'm just throwing the lines on there and crossing over them just like we did with those other areas. Grab some more water on my brush. Just throwing the lines down there. There we go. All right. I'm just gonna kind of add an inner circle around these right here, little highlights of the black. Don't neglect the sides of the canvas. And you know what? I think I'm done. I think I'm going to stop adding because as an artist, I can continue to add and add and add and add and add and add and add. So let me take one final step back. Let me look and see. All right. I think I like it. So this is what we created today. And look, we did it under an hour. So lovely. Exactly what I wanted to do. I didn't want to keep you guys any longer than an hour. So this is what we created today. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Make sure that you like, share, subscribe, comment, leave me suggestions, interact with me, you guys. I know y'all are watching me. I appreciate it, but talk to me, okay? Anyway. anyway, I will see you guys on Saturday for another quick and easy painting tutorial. All my information is linked down below. Thank you again so much for all your love and support. I appreciate you. You guys have a lovely and beautiful day. Stay blessed. Bye.